happy Friday. I wanted to do a little check-in because I haven't talked to you guys in a minute and I miss talking to you guys. I'm almost at a month of being a full-time artist, and yeah, it's a lot, but it's so fun, and I definitely feel like I am still on the right path and I'm going in the right direction, which is really good. It's just a lot trying to balance everything and trying to figure out where I should spend my energy because there's so many different directions that you can go into. I announced my prints last week, so that was really, really exciting, and I'm so glad that that's finally up. Now my next phase is trying to figure out where I want to sell them. I really wanted to do a pop-up like on the street, but there are laws against that, so I can't just sell on the side of the street, which boo. I guess I get why they do that, but it's just annoying because I'm really impatient and I want to sell my stuff in person, but I have to like work with these other businesses and try to find bars and breweries and festivals or events that can host me. But we're gonna figure it out. If anything, I am super determined, so I will find a way. But yeah, so I have prints out and they're ready, and I'm just super excited about that. The print process literally takes so freaking long. Like genuinely, it is such a process, and I plan on making a like in-depth tutorial on how to do that in the future. But yeah, it's just a long process, and I did it within 3 weeks, which I think is kind of impressive. Gonna pat my back on that one. But yeah, so that's really just the biggest update. Prints are here, prints are ready. That was like the biggest accomplishment that I wanted to get to in my first 30 days, and we did it. So I'm really excited. I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of your support. Like, I have gotten so many messages, not just from my friends, but also from people who follow me and just found me through my videos. And I just really appreciate it. And you guys are also supportive. And a lot of people are saying that I'm inspiring, which is crazy because I don't feel inspiring. Honestly, I just kind of feel like I jumped into the unknown and I'm just like trying to figure it out. And I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's inspiring to people, which is awesome. And I don't know, that's just really cool. I was not expecting that. But yeah, I feel really good. Happy Friday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi, here is my 3-year progression as an artist. I started out with gouache, then taught myself how to paint with oil. I worked on a few practice pieces, and then I received my first commission. This was super exciting, but also very daunting because I wanted to so badly provide a quality piece, but I was still finding my style as an artist. So it was a little scary for me as my first commission. Then a few months later, I created my first collection. These are therapeutic pieces for me because I created them at a time when I was super frustrated with the politics. We had so little research on women's bodies and support and laws that supported our rights as women, and I put all of my frustration and energy into the paintings that I created for this collection. After that, I wanted to create something a little bit more fun and playful, so I created a collection based on the Bridgerton characters, but if they had modern technology. I visualized how they would act in that time period with modern technology and public transportation and social media. This collection got me into my first art show, which was super exciting. After that, I really wanted to push myself for my third collection, so I created a 3-part short film series to accompany each painting. I literally cooked that soup and then painted it, which I think is just so funny. I fell in love with creating an experience around my collections. I really wanted people to feel immersed, not just into the art, but into the stories behind the pieces and the process as well. I spent the next few months working on several smaller pieces so that I could keep practicing and improving while I worked on my 4th collection. where I partnered with drag queens to film a set of interviews to celebrate the drag community and put a spotlight on the stories of the performers in that community. Here are the portraits that I painted for each of those interviews. I have both of these collections on my website so that you can get the full experience if you want to see that. I'm currently working on my next series where I am painting what I see when I listen to certain songs. So I'm really excited for that. Follow me if that's something that you would be interested in seeing. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video and sticking with me. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys later. Okay, bye. Guys, I made a huge mistake on this painting. I'm working on a new series where I'm painting what I visualize when I listen to my favorite songs. This one is based off the song Make It Up by Banks and Sampha. So I painted their portraits on each side, and I'm visualizing the background as a bit more abstract. I started playing around with it and I honestly hate it. It looks so odd compared to the detail that I put into the portraits. So today I'm going to try and fix it. The song starts off with this really cool beat and sound, and it's giving me kind of like wavy vibes. So I'm just freehanding some swirls in the background. I think it's looking better, but I want to keep adding, so I'm going to freehand some little stickers on the sides, and here it is. I think it looks so much better and more like what I see in my head when I listen to the song. What do you guys think? Hi, I wanted to share my story on why I started painting. I started about 3 years ago after being laid off. I was living in New York City at the time, and I had to move back home to my parents' house because I got laid off and I couldn't afford to pay the rent in New York City. This was right after COVID, so I wasn't sure when I would get another job because the job market was crazy back then. Not much has changed today, as you can see, but this was like back in 2022. Being laid off honestly killed my confidence, and it was a really, really low point in my life because it was my first time ever being laid off from what I thought was going to be my career path, being in marketing and working for startups. So at the time, I turned to one of my favorite hobbies growing up, which was sketching and painting. But I started with gouache, and honestly, I didn't really love it. Like, there's so many amazing artists who are so talented with gouache and acrylic and watercolor. That was just like not my medium. Like, I was just struggling so hard to get the desired effect that I wanted with those mediums. So that's why I taught myself how to use oil paints from Mark Carter's tutorials. He has like this entire library on his website. It's called drawmixpaint.com. And he has like tutorials for everything you would need on how to learn how to oil paint. It was a really, really great resource for me to learn as a beginner and to just get started into the practice. Before that, I literally didn't paint for like 6 years in between high school and like college, all the way up into my career. I like took 6 years off of painting and just being creative at all. And being laid off, I was just like, you know what, we're gonna get back into it. So yeah, so I did it for a hobby for a little bit, for like 2.5 years. And now I am doing it full time. I'm taking the leap and going full time with my art, which is really exciting. But I'm super grateful that it happened, honestly. Like, I'm super grateful for that layoff at the time. It was very hard and I didn't understand why it was happening. but it led me to my passion, and I'm so grateful for that. If you guys want to follow my journey, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am figuring it out as I go, and I'm documenting the whole thing. So if you guys want to see more content like this, then definitely give me a follow. Okay, bye. I have officially been a full-time artist for 30 days, and today I want to share some of the helpful things that have gotten me through my first 30 days. If you're new here, I left my job a month ago and decided to go all in on my passion and to pursue a creative career. So I'm 30 days in, and here are my main takeaways. One, you have to be proactive. This means making a plan and sticking to it. I've been working my ass off to post consistently twice a day, every single day. And after 30 days, I have noticed a difference. I've had a handful of videos reach over 10,000 views, and now I have a better idea of what is working and what's not working. Number two, you cannot let fear get the best of you. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm not letting that stop me. Every single day, I am researching strategies to get better at what I'm doing. I am looking at my analytics to see if my videos are performing the way I want it to and why. When I feel myself starting to spiral or getting scared or get nervous or wonder what the heck I'm doing, I take care of myself and I take the time to recharge, to journal, to meditate, do my affirmation. I take the time to take care of myself and to redirect myself to the goals that I have set for myself. My last tip is don't be afraid to experiment and put yourself out there. I did a daily series where I checked in almost every single day for this month that I've been a full-time artist, and honestly, the views were not very great, I will say that, but it did find so many people that converted to a follower because I was sharing my story and putting myself out there and people could relate to it. And I got so many great comments and people messaging me saying like they were inspired by me, which is crazy, and like saying that they are also going through a similar journey. So it was just really, really nice and cool to have that support system in that community from the daily series videos. But those are my main takeaways from my first 30 days. I will definitely check back again when I get farther along in my journey. And if you're interested in seeing an artist make her way through the creative world, then you should follow me. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.